Welcome back. All right.
All right.
Downtimes.
Cool. Yeah, and I think you send out the report, and in the TV show of this, you follow it through the pipes, and it goes up through Dunslow, across to Coleridge, through Charter Hall, through Brightstone, and then it goes across the Bowmore Bridge, and you realize that some of the piping in the Bowmore Bridge are actually pneumatic tubes, and like you follow the report through the pneumatic tubes into the Imperial Fortress that we were just in. It goes up through the fortress that is lined with these tubes, up to an office. An imperial clerk takes it out, looks at the number, takes it, puts it in a little basket. Another imperial clerk picks it up, takes it into an office. The Lord Governor looks at it, harumphs because he just had a meeting about this, cracks it, reads it, and then hands it to another clerk who telegraphs it. We follow the telegraph as it goes out of the city, up the continent to the imperial city, where there's an even more ridiculous fortress that is in the imperial city that just sits in the middle like this huge, monstrous, necromantic needle, and into the imperial office, and which I think the doors of it, are the emperor's doors because it looks like each it's double doored, and each one of those doors looks like his gold mask, and like you go through, and imperial clerks in the emperor's livery are looking at the telegraph as it comes across, and they're typing it into readable reports that go into a folder that says "For the Undying Emperor's Eyes Only."
All right then.
And now, on that note, let's do downtime.
Nice.
We're important, Maya.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Your paperwork is very important.
Cool. So I get
Oh,
3 downtime
sorry.
actions. I believe you're still at 2, and we have 1 from the mandate to spend as we
Yes.
will. I don't remember where we're keeping it. Maybe we check on the mandate. We should take a look and see. There is a project that we've been working that allows us to get into the spirit wardens. We're tracking them. We had a 4
Yes.
clock and a something else clock, and I remember this, but I don't see it on my sheet, so it must be tracked like here in the thingy somewhere.
Yeah, I have.
Is it on your sheet? Oh,
Yeah.
here it is. Actually, I lied. I have it on mine. It's 3 of 8. Naming a spirit warden. 3 of 8.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I have too.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I believe it was a 4 and a. Oh, I see. You have 3 of 4. Yeah, I believe it was a 4 clock and an 8 clock, and we're 3 of 4 for the first one. So
Yes. Yeah.
obviously we want to work on this. That's definitely a thing. Do we? What else? Oh, I think we probably have to vice. So yeah, let's figure out downtime. So you want to go first?
Yeah. Sure. Who?
Oh, jeez. I really need to vice.
I guess it makes sense to. Oh god. Yeah. I really need to find.
Yeah, I just saw the 7 on mine. Yeah. All right.
Oh gosh, big question. Do we want to go vicing together, or should I go vice
We
with
can't yet.
my
I
friend?
have a 6 clock to work on for writing. So if you want that to be one of my downtime actions, which is working on getting writing as a vice while you're vicing, then that would be rad.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, cool.
That sounds amazing. It's all the Deathlands, of course.
Of course.
So where else would you go riding after, especially after being on that like a non-horse vehicle for some time? It's good to get a bit of a reprieve. Mm. So, do you have a horse? You used to rent a horse, I guess, like or like.
Uh, that's a good question.
Do
I
we
think
ride
I
together?
borrowed one from the Rowan estate, actually.
Oh, rad.
Because, I mean, I show up in my livery and I'm like, just making sure the horses stretch their legs, you know, like, gotta have them be tip-top shape. And, yeah, so, that's where I'm getting mine.
Nice. That sounds super good. I think mine also gives you like some kind of ward to like an anti-ghost, like award for going out
I
on the
think
death
there's
lines.
probably like a very it's brief clip, but like if you've ever seen like people get ready to either like go parachuting or like mountain climbing where they're checking harnesses and everything. So like standing there with my eyes stuck out, like super uncomfortable, and you're like checking the cinches, making sure my seals are good or whatever.
Oh, definitely.
Can you breathe? Yeah, you know.
That's super rad. Let me ride.
All right, awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I'm probably awkward and in this giant suit that I'm not used to carrying with all the wards and everything. Gas mask.
Maya's like, dang it, that's adorable. But I won't say anything about it.
Yeah. Cool. So do you want to roll your vice and I will roll my project?
Sounds
Cool.
good. Let's see how this goes.
So here's a secret for me. My project, I'm planning to roll relate because I'm learning about this through Maya. I'm connecting with her on a genuine level, and we don't exactly have a ride skill that might apply here. So I'm gonna roll my relate, but I'm gonna add one die because Maya is officially my friend.
Yay.
One die. Let's see how good this ride is.
Ooh.
Hey, it's a 6.
Oh, super
So
good.
I'm gonna get 3 ticks on my clock to have my ride vice become an honest to goodness vice.
Awesome.
Halfway done.
Rad. Oh gosh. I might need to vice again. Like I was so stressed out. Maybe this is like an overnight camping thing out on the death lines.
I mean, your other option is to try and just run a lower stress run next time.
That's true. I have 4 stress left, so I could that's this might be the time Maya traumas out. We'll see.
It is good for XP, I will say that.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'll do that. I'll run for some lower stress, and we'll see what happens. This might be a turning point in Maya's character development. And in that case, I guess we need to. We've got that free action to reduce heat, right? Like that.
We can do that. We can talk about that. Obviously, we can do it as a heat reduction, or we can do it as let's have a quick talk about what our next job is. Because if our next job is another noble job, we do not need to reduce heat. It's going to be irrelevant. We might as well just start working on yet another pressure clock. But hey, buddy. What is going to be our next task? I highly doubt that we have enough money and or resources to make the Spirit Warden job our next job. That's probably going to be at least one job away, right? Like we're just going to have to roll some dice and keep working on that because we have to waste one action to finish the 4 o'clock, and then we have to shift to the 8 o'clock and actually start working on that, which is just going to take time.
Totes. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Oh gosh. Yeah. I guess it depends upon like. Yeah, I guess we could keep putting pressure on the Rowan thing, like, and going in that direction, whilst also doing the Spirit Warden clocks and downtime, to try and sort of like do this in parallel.
The Rowan thing is tricky though, right? Because Lizette is expecting us to off her dad. Which, do you listen to Lizette, who's very scary and right here, or do you listen to the Undying Emperor, who, while not right here, is probably more scary? Hi, buddy. Sorry, my cats are just super attention wanty today.
No problem.
Not a
Cats are
problem.
amazing.
But yeah, this is a very good kitty. Yeah, I don't know. What do we have any other leads to pursue? Like we could do what we promised the Emperor. We could go and look into either the Strandfords.
Yeah.
We could do some investigation to the McClellans because they're clearly involved with something, but we're not really sure where they're involved. So like if we could frame an investigation that could actually reveal that to us, maybe that would be fun. Judd, do you think that's interesting? Because like I don't want to be the kind of person that's just like, okay, so what we're gonna do is follow Athena, but like Because if you're just like that's not even gonna work, that's not a job. We'll be like, oh, okay. Or if you're like, yeah, it's more of a long-term project or something, like maybe that's not a job.
Yeah.
Because like by saying it's a job, what we're saying is we will find something, or at least there's a chance that we will find something, even if that something is trouble. So
I mean, there's always a chance you're going to find trouble.
well, I mean,
Um,
if she finds out we're following her, that is certainly not going to end well.
the the McClellans seem to have gone to some trouble to try and convey to you that they've given you the ghoul that they had. I mean, that was what they were trying to communicate to you when
We
they
got
handed you
that,
that shit.
but I don't actually care about the fact that I have all of it, though the Emperor might. I more care about the fact that I want to know where they got it. And so if
Mm,
the answer is 10 years ago we got it, I'll be like, cool, but what's the story? Where did you find the stash in the first place 10 years ago? Right? Like that's all important to me. So maybe following Athena is not super helpful. Like maybe they
okay.
did give us all that stuff and I actually kind of believe them. They give us a giant crate. They just wanted their names out of it, and I think that their names can't end up out of it. We just don't have answers. Like saying like, well, they just gave us a giant crate. Maybe enough for the Emperor. The Emperor might come down like a ton of bricks. I don't know. But we need something more, right? And I don't actually maybe you're right. Maybe I don't know the vector of investigation there. So
I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying that they made some sort of a weird effort. But the rest is totally up to you.
no, I
The
respect their effort. I just there's a piece missing. They did
Mhm.
everything they were willing to do, but they did not do everything I wanted them to do, which is different.
Right, right. And I feel like as you both are like looking at the suspect board and like trying to piece together what your next step is, uh, Drob says like, "Yeah, but where did you get it?" And then we flash back to a scene from a few episodes ago where Maya Tui was out in the Deathlands with the Savrosi
Mm.
uh, emissary, and she conveyed that she ran a gang 10 years ago that was actually the gang that brought the ghoul in and sold it to the Grinning Ravens.
Rad.
So, what's that?
Oh, that's super rad.
Yeah, I mean that. I mean, I'm not that happened. I'm just like I'm going over that
Okay,
again, just
okay.
like because I know this shit is crazy and complicated, and it sprawled on us. Um,
Appreciated.
so there is that. That's like in the air. Drop doesn't know about it, but Maya Tui knows about it.
It's true.
Yeah,
If you recall, she asked you to keep her name out of it, and you promised her that you
Yes.
would.
I did.
And to date, you have, which is why I don't remember it. I didn't register it in my draft brain.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And maybe Maya, like, so, like, Drum just like, where did she get it? And, like, Maya does that sort of Sherlockian, like, mind palace thing where we see that flashback and then, like, her eyes, like, click. Oh, and she looks very uncomfortable. And looks at Drum and says, I have suspected for some time that Ambassador Issa had other stake in the game besides her title and reputation. I did promise that I would keep her name out of it. However, it would be somewhat not prudent to follow all of the leads. She ran a gang back in the day, and had connection to getting ghoul into the city at that time.
Do I remember the name of that gang, Judd? Issa's
Uh,
gang?
I believe it was called the Deathlands Mercantile Company. Oh, Deathlands Import and Freight.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
I was gonna say, did you just literally make a a smuggler group, so they would run DMC. Sorry.
That's amazing.
Deathlands import and what was it?
And freight.
Great.
And DIF. All right.
The diff.
All right. All right. I think like Drav like runs numbers and then like a light clicks on and I have no idea if you know this, but you know he obviously asks if that's the thing that like do you mean that she was involved with like Deathlands import and freight or whatever?
I do believe so, yes.
Hmm. Do you want to see if your friend has records from that time still?
Uh, Indeed. I feel the only way we're going to figure out the source is if we go right back to the beginning. 10 years ago.
All right. So do we want to talk to her, Judd? Like, and then decide our further actions because I'm still trying to figure out what the job is because that'll kind of determine what our actions are.
Okay.
Does that sound
Yeah.
fair?
How do you want to talk to her? Let's do a free scene.
Oh, cool. I probably. Ooh, you know what? I invite her out to that Civility restaurant.
Oh, cool.
And Judd, no, Drav is welcome to come too.
Yeah.
The job checks what kind of knives do the Severosi eat their food with.
Very sharp ones.
Good to know.
Yeah, so I think I invite Issa. I'm like, believe it or not, there is a legitimate place where you can get actually good Civility food in this place. Like, you know, Clave introduced me to it, believe it or not. And
Cool.
yeah, well, I'm better to dine for this.
Yeah. So the Mustang was pretty chill the morning, the day you were there, both times you were there. But this time, it's not. This time, the Silver Nails are there. It's their headquarters. The Silver Nails are a gang of Severosi. They're all former Unity War veteran cavalry. And so, whereas last time it was like a nice barbecue joint, this time it's like a biker bar.
Right.
Like filled to the gills with Severosi bikers. Bikers being horses in this case.
Yeah, all their horses are lined up outside, kind of thing, like you would a bike gang. Yeah.
Yep. And there are Severosi children who have been given a couple of pennies to watch the horses. And it's loud. There's loud Severosi music playing, and yeah. But yeah, you guys, you get a table.
And I think like Bias is over the door. It's like, have you been here before? Oh, this is no place for a delicate conversation.
No, it's not. Okay.
What do you think, it's Rush?
No, actually, I think that a loud, noisy place is a perfectly fine place for a conversation because no one's gonna be fucking paying attention.
Good point.
So I think that Drav like waits until like a course is served. He's watching Maya and this woman for like interactions, but he's also like clocking the perimeter and checking to see what the Silver Nails are doing. Are they paying any attention to us, Judd?
No.
Great. I just use the noise as cover then, right? Like,
are you dressed in your blue coat? Hold up.
No, I don't actually. This is a Maya question, believe it or not. Disclaim responsibility. Depends on what you tell me to wear, right? You're like, I'm gonna set a dinner with like a friggin' somebody of Severosi of title and status, and Drive is like, I don't friggin' know what I'm doing. Like, what does one dress like going to dinner? Like, so I think he'd probably just say, like, what's the dress code, right? Like, nothing...
Yeah.
Do
And
I...
I think Maya would say, like, while it's an official conversation, I think this would be one best had off the books.
Then I don't.
So, like,
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Put on a clean shirt, but nothing fancy.
Yeah. They pay no attention to you. In various parts of the bar are stacks of Sivrosi lances, and like Mayatui has like all of these charms and stuff hanging from her, and you notice that they're dangling off of similar things are dangling off of the lances and off of everyone here. And they also all have silver nails as rings that they use as like a proof against possession.
I for sure make sure that Issa is getting very good like Siversi spirits
Yes.
while we're dining.
But it's filled with silver nails and sailors and imperial military who are off duty, and it feels like there's a lot of fighting and fornicating going on in this place in various parts.
All right. Have we eaten here before, Maya? Or just you? Because I remember that you were introduced and then you ate with somebody else, but it wasn't... I'm pretty sure it wasn't me, but I'm checking.
No, I think we did eat because I was like, oh, like, come and check out this place. And it was part of our friend Clock was like, yeah.
Yeah, I think Drav just, like, eyes the place around. It's just like, okay, all right, this is a thing. It's happening.
Yeah, and I think when you ask Issa if she knows about this place, she says, of course I know about this place. You didn't know about this place?
No, I did not.
I'm so sorry. I'm a terrible host. I'm really sorry.
All that matters is that we did find this place in the end, and I'm happier for it. It is a taste of home.
And a cavalry woman comes up to Issa, and her coat is old and patched, and it's no longer uniform standard anymore. And it's got all the charms that you have hanging from around the shoulders. And she says, I think she has her silver nail through her nose. And she says, Issa, is this our investigator? And Issa says, this is investigator Mayatui. Mayatui, this is Suresh.
Suresh, a pleasure meeting you. I think she does like whatever Sivarosi like greeting is appropriate for.
Yeah. Suresh bows very low and says, and like bangs a glass against the wall, and everyone stops talking. And Suresh stands up and says, we Sivrosi, we fight their wars. We defend the the undying emperor with our lives. Long may reign the emperor, and everyone repeats. He says, but we haven't gotten the respect we deserve in this city. We haven't gotten it by a long shot. Issa's working hard to make sure that we try to get some. Issa? And everyone kind of like applauds and kind of grumbles and whistles. And he says, and now we have an investigator. A Sivrosi investigator. From the Deathlands, from the villages and the forts, with an imperial mandate, walking into powerful places, bringing down powerful people. Sivrosi. This is Mayatui. And everyone kind of applauds. And he says, a toast to Mayatui. Let's burn this fucking city to the ground, Mayatui. And I think at that point he loses the Imperial soldiers who are like, what? Until like someone explains to them, like, oh, it's just a Sivrosi saying. It doesn't mean we actually want to burn it down. We do.
Oh my god!
Yeah. And I think everyone's like stamping their feet and she bows and says, good luck in your investigation. And if you need any help, the Silver Nails are here. We're back in town.
I think like Maya gives like a very like appreciative nod and then like sort of downs her drink and like
I think Drav leans back until he's like close enough that Maya can hear him talk and just goes, "Hey, look, everybody knows your name now." I burned the town down. This is delightful.
This is amazing.
So
And I think Suresh also leans into you and says, "It would also be a shame if you left town without spending the night with me first." And I think at that point, Issa steps in and says, "All right, Suresh, you took your shot. Leave my investigator alone."
Actually,
And
can I snap into this convo for like a split second, Judd?
Please.
I think I look at Suresh and I go like, "Hey, Suresh, so you've known Issa here for quite a while, right?"
Yes, since the old days.
Old days. When was that?
Pretty good.
You know exactly what I'm driving at.
Oh yeah,
You want me to roll?
make that roll.
All right. What kind of? Let me figure this out. What dinner plans? This is about to get super fancy. I hope I don't get murdered by a bunch of scary silver nails.
Did you
maybe
help with that or?
No, I'm good. I think I'm still at some stress. I haven't had my chill time here. To go with exploit, which is I forget what the deceive, victimize, falsify. No, I don't think so. I think I'm relating. Yeah, I think I'm relating with this person. They're like, yeah, and I'm like, what about the old days? I'm like, yeah, I'm like, when were the old days? So like, just give me one hot second.
Yeah, I think it's risky.
What's my
great.
position? Risky, great. All right, risky.
If you're relating, it's risky. Great. Yeah.
Excellent. How's it going there? Ooh, it's not going great. So tell me, how does this? I mean, I whiff pretty hard. Just let me know how it goes wrong. I smell trauma.
Oof. I think it turns and Suresh grabs your throat and lifts you, Darth Vader style, and says, "You're supposed to be investigating non-Sevrosi.
All right, go ahead.
You're supposed to represent us." And I think now you're in a desperate situation.
Cool.
Can I intervene? I feel like this is
No, that's fine. We're still desperate, but
Yeah.
if you intervene, I won't have to roll assault dice. That'll be super great. I would love that more.
Yeah, I think the way Maya intervenes is like she says an idiom in Severosi, but it says it in quite a cutting way. Like, and I think the effect of it is like a friend of mine, like sort of it's a Severosi kind of thing, like, you know. Yeah. And it's like it's a nice phrase, but yeah, she says it with like a sort of judgmental, like a little bit of venom behind it. And I think then, and she says like, Suresh, you're quick to jump to conclusions. We are indeed looking outside of Severosi purviews. But if we want to get the bastards that have been peddling this stuff, we need to look at its origin. And you and I both know its origin has a place in the Deathlands. And I guess I'm relating to him. Or
Cool.
Yeah.
Was it desperate great?
Oh, shall I push myself? Oh God.
Is that gonna trauma you?
Not yet. I'll have 2 left after.
It's true.
I will push myself.
All right.
Oh, I got a 3 and a 1.
Failure on desperate gets bad. On the other hand, you get some XPs, I think.
I get some XPs.
All right, let's see how this goes.
He fuck.
This is why we play games with dice.
She squeezes Drav's throat and uh, throws him to the ground. I think it's
Level 3 harm unconscious.
level 3 harm. Yeah.
Do I actually take, so like what kind of harm is it? Is it like knockout or is it like actual level 3 harm? Like crushed windpipe. That's technically 4, but close. The difference is the amount of healing, right? Like if you knock someone unconscious by giving them level 3 harm unconscious or like whatever, then I'm out of the scene. I can't act until somebody wakes me up, but it'll also go away relatively quickly. Like I'm not going to be hauling wounds for the next week.
Yeah, no, I think that's what she does an arterial choke with her hands, which is crazy and next to impossible. But she does it, and she knocks you unconscious, level 3. Yeah, and I think she spins on Maya Tui.
You're on your own here, friend.
Oh God.
And the bar stops. She throws Drob to the ground like a rag doll and then spins on you and says, "You're supposed to be representing us."
God, I can resist like her choking out Drob, right?
No, it's done.
Oh, it's done. Okay.
Yeah, 1, 2. I could theoretically. It's harm coming at me. I could reduce it to 2, but honestly, I'm like by the time she picked me up, I was like, "Cool, I'm gonna assault or not." And you're like, "Let's not." I'm like, "Well, I feel like this is appropriate. I will eat this harm."
Right.
And I think Maya like draws herself to her full height, like in the. I imagine like they're in a booth, kind of like or table kind of orientation. Like does not back down from Suresh, even though Suresh is like. Is Suresh coming for her, or is it kind of like doing the death eyes? Like I'm gonna.
Yeah, no, she's
you up.
She's just staring you down and she's not coming for you physically yet.
I have
gonna link this pool back to us, back to our houses.
I have a suggestion for you, Maya. I don't know how you're gonna go. I could have insisted that you bring the actual mandate with you, like the seal and everything. I think that there's probably going to be a slightly different reaction, like, because right now they're blustering, right? Like, they're like, "Oh, this is what we do, this is kind of what we want to do," right? But, like, when you put the mandate in front of them, what you can actually try and, like, force is, like, cool, my job is to do the job for the Emperor, like, here's the seal. You've got 2 choices now. Either you can back down and fucking understand what my job is, or you can tell the Emperor to fuck off, in which case, this ends a different way. So... I mean, if she's throwing down with you, you can throw down with her. And the reason I'm mentioning that is if Drav had told you that he doesn't know where this is going to go and you might want to bring the mandate with you because you don't know how this dinner conversation is going to end, I can give you an assist using my cool spider power.
Excellent. I think that's like a good idea, but especially because like, so I've brought Beyond Reproach where I can push myself to like impress onlookers with your integrity and authority as an agent of the Imperium, which I feel like... And I also can cause them to hesitate and reconsider their actions, which I feel like I should have done maybe a step before.
Yeah.
Oh well. Sorry, Trump.
She's puffing up. She's puffing up. She's puffing up. And you're like, all right, I'm calling you on your shit. Which way you going?
Cool.
Yeah, and I keep eye contact with her the whole time, right? Like I don't look as I reach into my pocket and then just like on the table like the mandate.
Yeah. And it's the Emperor's mask. Like that's the seal.
Yeah, I will totally do that. What am I trying to figure out what to roll? Might be another relate. Just because,
Control?
Could be a control. It's probably a control, yeah. In which case, I have nothing in control. So
I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying it sounds more like control, but
it does sound like a because control is like intimidate, command, and suppress, which
but you are pushing yourself, and you get an extra die because we said that Drob was helping. So
yeah, what's my position?
Risky. No, they don't want to hurt fellow Savrosi, so we're at risky standard.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I gotta 6.
Yes.
Yay! Yeah, so like I put the mandate down.
No, no disrespect meant to the Undying Emperor.
Of course not. I think it would be best if we we walk the lines that we are supposed to walk. And this is mine, and you have yours. And I don't think it would be wise to question where those lines are drawn.
Yes, ma'am. I'll wake your friend up.
Thank you. I think I like close it out with another like Super Rosa idiom, to sort of like try and smooth over any like bad blood or misunderstanding between he and I about like we both have the same roots, like we both have the same whatever plant life grows out of the Deathlands, like we share those roots.
Awesome. Yeah, Drav, you wake up to Suresh, kind of.
I think
She
like
actually,
when
you know what she's
drop.
doing?
Go ahead.
She picks up your heels so that the blood from your legs flows down into your head. She says, "It was a blood choke, not an air choke. Don't be a wimp about it." Dusk Wells.
As I'm coming to I go, Rona, I don't remember that hold, but like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think I dust myself off and well, like, no, I definitely I stand up and I assess the situation, and even though I don't 100% remember what happened right before I got choked out, I think I get the gist here. So I'm just like, that was really good. Like, like I give him like the we're cool. You did a really cool chokehold that I don't remember, but yeah.
She picks you up and sits you in your seat and gets you a drink. And then Issa says, "Yes, as I told you, it was the Deathlands Import and Freight that brought it in. We sold it to. I mean,
Do you have records, ledgers, notes, even memories where you're gonna write down everybody that you gave crates to?"
I'll get it to you."
Did you know? I just have one question. I just look at her real calm like, and I say, "Did you know what it was you were bringing in?"
No, I didn't know till years later. We watched the fallout, but we didn't know until years later.
And you say you brought it in, but do you have any idea about whereabouts it came from within the lands?
It was some deep outrider.
So, as a point of note, by the way, like when we sat down and we started talking and having dinner before this whole shenanigan happened, Drop was very calmly like just drinking water. I think this is like the first time where he actually like shifts, and you literally see him like shift over and take a sip from whatever it was that Suresh brought.
Cool. And I think you, she gets you that paperwork, and it was 2 cases to the Grinning Ravens, 2 cases to uh, 2 cases to the Lampblacks, 2 cases to the Red Sashes, and 2 cases to the Crows.
Okay, crows, red sashes, lamp blacks, grinning ravens. Anybody else?
That is it.
Now, I have a question for you, Judd.
Hold on. I'm going to redo that whole thing.
That's fine.
I take that all back.
No problem.
Okay. It is the Grinning Ravens, and then it's 3 other gangs who have all been obliterated.
Okay, that
That's who
makes
she's
lots
to
of sense.
Yes. I'm not even sure the Reds, like some of those gangs were around 10 years ago, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. But
So-
they're all gangs. Yeah.
I need you to flashback me a particular observe here, which
Yeah.
is when we were in the room with Lizette, and she had me on her operating table, as it were. I want to do, just like you were showing, like, previous scenes and stuff like that, I want to zoom in on a specific thing, and I want to understand something. The Rowan House crates, do they have, like, a Grinning Ravens, like, knife marked into an edge or something like that? Because we
Yes.
would have marked
Yep.
our product in some way. All right,
Yep.
cool.
They do.
So then it's 2 cases to the Grinning Ravens, and then 2 cases to 3 other gangs, all of whom have been obliterated, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I will ask you, just for us doing case purposes, if we can name them for next time. It's not important right now, because ultimately what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do all the math, and it sounds like there are 8 cases total that went out.
Okay.
And so it sounds like the Rowan House obliterated the Grinning Ravens, and they still are 2 cases. So like that
Right.
that math makes sense.
Okay.
I think that what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and piece together who has which of the other cases and which ones are missing.
Yeah. And I think my math is 6 cases total. Where are you getting 8?
Oh, you said the Grinning Ravens got 2, and then 2 more to 3 other gangs that were obliterated. That's 2, 4, 6, 8. That's all I did.
Okay, so I'm sorry. It's 3 gangs total, 2
Got
other
it.
gangs that were
No problem.
obliterated.
Cool.
The other gangs are called, one of them is called the Hellcats,
Nice.
and then the other one were called the Orphans.
Aw.
All right, got it.
Is it because they make orphans or because they are orphans?
They were orphans.
Aw.
All right, cool. Sweet. Rad. Nice. Cool. This was actually super productive discussion with this woman. I think
I'm very glad.
I think that we can actually send a report to the Emperor, and one of the I think in fiction we now know that the Emperor gets our reports directly, and we can stop prevaricating. But I think Drav is still kind of a shifty / suspicious mother effer, and I think he sits down and like, he probably is still cautious, but what he says is that they found the notes of a previous gang, and they verified that at the time 10 years ago only 6 crates entered the city. So as part of the investigation, we are planning to track down where all those cases are / ended up. And if there are more, we will know the answer to the Emperor's question, which is someone now producing it?
Yes.
Which was something the Emperor asked us and we didn't know, but now we at least have the parameters for that investigation. We know that if it's more than 6 cases, someone is producing it. And so, like, that's actually a big thing.
So once you do that math, you realize that no one is currently producing it.
All right, Red. Can I identify... So looking at the cases in lockup, because we got some cases from the McClellans, and we got some cases from...
the original, like,
Yes.
Yeah.
The
original
Lamplex.
scene.
Can I identify where those cases, which of the groups those cases may or may not have gone to?
Totally.
Awesome.
It takes you a couple of days to get it done, but you find that you look at the crates that you got from the Lamplacks, and you find the Hellcats' old claw mark on the crate, and it just didn't seem like anything at the time, but now it does. And then the McClellans cases all have uh, all are wrapped in blankets from a long burned down orphanage.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Rad. So that means that we know where the McClellans one ended up. And if the McClellan family somehow was responsible for like breaking apart the orphans, then we understand where they got it. And
Right.
that tells me that there is less of an investigation there. I don't know how you feel, Maya. Um,
I think even like it takes you a couple minutes to find like old investigative reports on Bluecoats eradicating a tier zero gang called the Orphans.
yep.
Like just fucking stepping on their necks.
Yep.
Like and like even in the reports, it's like 20 people knocked down this door again.
There were three in there.
There were 3 kids in there, and they were not sent to Iron Hook, died in it due to injuries sustained.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And McClellans are a founding family? Just
Yeah.
double checking. Okay, so they would have picked up the news from somewhere. All right, excellent. So we have an accounting of most of the crates. We're still missing one. Is that right by my math?
Yes.
Okay, because we know for a fact that the Bowmore Jr. got some of his drugs from Lizette, and we know that Lizette spent some of the drugs that she had for parties and stuff, which means
Right.
that there's one crate there, and I'm assuming the other crate is the thing that divvied up and hit the streets, which is how we found anything.
Right.
So that's the 2 green engravings are accounted for. The McClellans only gave us 1. Is that correct?
The McClellan's gate. Well, it was one big crate, but it was 2 crates. It
Okay,
was
so it looks
not-
like there's goods from 2 crates, but they might have sold some or used some or whatever. But like,
Yeah.
it accounts for where both crates ended up.
Yes.
Because like now what we're talking about is vials, not crates, right?
Right.
And,
Right.
and the Hellcats went to the Lampblacks, of which there were 2 originally. One was found on the bridge, and the other one is vanished. Is that correct? Because there was like
That is
one
correct.
missing.
That was
Okay.
correct. So like as of now, there's 1 crate that's in the wind, and then but you know that there are 2 more in the Rowan house.
Okay. So Maya, we don't really have a lot of options here. It looks like the 2 last remaining paths for us to investigate are either going up direct into the Romans and trying to figure out how to play the end game there, or to try and burn through our final investigative clock on the Spirit Wardens and try and deal with it there. Do you have preferences?
Oh gosh. My thinking is, yeah, I feel like we can maybe bluster our way through like the Rowan line of investigation, because like we kind of have a lot more facts there and can leverage the relationships we have. So we've done a lot more work there. To go for the Spirit Ones, yeah, I feel like that's like we still have 9 bits on those clocks to like chip away at before we can really begin to narrow down on any of the Spirit One stuff. Because like even then, that'll just give us like a Spirit One, right? Like who we
can follow or bully or try to get us in, right? The Spirit Ones are scary people. They're full of ghosts.
Oh yeah. So like I guess sorry, it's like a long way of saying, do we want to like ramp into the Rowan thing, or like sort of take our time and sort of slowly go into the?
Well, we know a couple of things. We know that there is an eel house. We know that there are guards that know about the eel house. We know about the fact that Lord Rowan did kill the ravens. We do know that all of his crates have raven logos on them. This is all evidence. This is evidence that we can collect and we can arrest him, right? Like, by the book, as the Emperor said. Lizette is a little bit trickier. Because she wants to... Oh, I have an idea.
What is the idea?
Oh, this is a terrible idea.
Oh, it sounds amazing. What is the
Okay.
idea?
So the Silver Nails have said that they will assist if necessary. What if we do not kill Lord Rowan, but we stash him in the Deathlands because no one's gonna find him there, and we convince Lizette that we killed him and get her to bring us in on the plan? What do you think?
Oh, that sounds fun.
Oh, shit. You're gonna pretend to kill. Do it.
X
Let's do
Spider.
That sounds explosive and fun, and Lauren's on board.
I think there's probably a scene where Drav tells you this plan, and he's staring at the mandate, and he's staring at that golden goddamn mask on the mandate, and then he looks at his like murder board, right? And then he makes that decision, right? Like he's not gonna kill Rowan. He's gonna actually play this straight, and he's gonna take him in by the book, right? And so like you see him turn around, and he's like, and he lays it out, right? He's like, look, if we're gonna take out the Rowans, you and I have both talked, and Lizette is awful. Like, I have no idea what that son is like, but if we're gonna take her in, we need more proof, right? Like, because Rowan is dead. Like, we have him dead to rights. We have all the pieces that we need to arrest him. But Lizette is... We watched her murder a boy. We can take her in on murder charges, but we can't connect her to the mandate per se. That's just a piece. If we need to, like, haul her in under some pretense, she did murder a guy. A noble guy, but, like... and so that's something that we can use and leverage in conversation with her. But yeah, I think my plan is we stash her dad, and yeah, do you want to do that? Is that cool?
Yeah, that sounds super fun.
All right.
And yeah, I think you're right. It's the only way to sort of get anything on Lizette is if we have her trust.
So I'm going to pitch Judd a terrifying mechanical concept, which is, can I acquire asset for Lord Rowan? Like, is that can we just like handle that in downtime and then like launch it through the job? Like, can we do that?
I'm going to say no. I'll tell you this. How about apprehending Lord Rowan is the engagement role?
Okay.
And it might go a little sideways.
Okay.
And if so, we'll deal with it.
Oh my god.
I love the idea that the silver nails are there. I imagine that the scene as we're rolling the engagement roll is you and Lord Rowan taking a ride around Duskwall, and then like there's this thundering sound as the silver nail gang rides by, and then that's when the kidnapping is attempted. And we'll see how the roll goes.
Sounds good. I feel like the initiating conversation. Yeah, I feel like the initiating conversation was Maya going to Suresh was like, he said he wanted to fuck the city up, right?
You wanted to investigate somebody that's not Severosi? Let me tell you about a plan. All right, awesome.
They're totally into it.
Okay, before we launch into that roll, which I think is awesome, I still need to vice, and I still need to do my downtime actions real fast. I can just bullet through them if you want.
Let's yeah.
Super fast. I do want to have a conversation with Hopper and Rona.
Cool.
Because the question that I have for them is, I mean, I don't lie to them. I tell them what I found out. I'm like, look, I found out who did this, and I was like, I was this close. I was this close to getting him, and then I got dragged in front of the Immortal Emperor. I say it like that, right? Like, yeah. and I'm just like, and I can't. I can't. The thing that I want to do is not a thing that I can do, because if I do it, then there is no future. Like, and actually, I think he's.
I think when you say I was dragged before the Immortal Emperor, they both think it's a euphemism of some kind, and they're like, "You mean like you had your come to the Emperor moment?"
No, I mean like I was in a room and talking to him while he was still in the Imperial City using some weird ghost transmission tech.
So you did drugs and you hallucinated?
Nope, that was a machine. I literally, he knows my name.
He reads our reports.
He reads our reports, yes.
So Hopper said, I just want to get everything. You were going to kill Lord Rowan because he's the one who killed our gang.
Yeah.
But right before you were going to do it, the Emperor showed up
Yeah.
and talked to you and told you not to?
Yeah.
All right. I think this Imperial mandate has been too much for you. And I think you've snapped.
Yeah.
And I think so there's a psychological term for it. Like you've given your fears a face, and it's the face of the Emperor, which is a very fearsome face. That's very reasonable. And
Hopper.
you're having a breakdown, Drav. Like this is too much.
Hopper. They're building a room in the middle of the governor's mansion. I may be able to get you on the staff. I don't know. I'm serious. This is real. You know, it's weird because there are two kinds of justice, right? There's the justice of the streets. There's the kind of justice that our gangs engaged in all the time. And we knew that you could go down, and when you went down, you had to throw down. Like, we lived in a different world. But what he wants me to do is to trust the imperial justice. And we all know that usually the system grinds us under the heel and devours us and spits us out, and it doesn't care about anybody that lives in Dunslow. But I had a man in a gold mask tell me that I needed to do this the right way. I needed to do this by the book, and what they actually mean is like via the investigation and via like my Bluecoat status. And it's the first...
Rona says, "This guy's gonna pay."
Yeah, their titles will be stripped of them, all their power. I don't even know where he's probably never going to see the light of day. Largely
That's
because
better than killing him. Do it.
I think Drav like blinks twice because he's looking at a cutter, right? Like the cutter's first solution is violence.
It's better than killing him.
All right, so remember my vice's obligation and its obligation to my old gang, and I think that this is pretty clear cut what my obligation is going to be. So I'm going to roll my vice dice real quick.
Awesome, do it.
Let me just do the... Somebody told me once that there was a vice button. Aha. And I get one bonus dice because I'm doing this with friends. Hey! I clear 6 stress. 1, 2,
Awesome.
3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go into that pretty sharp.
What else are you doing on the downtime?
I worked on my ride vice. That was my second action. I have a third action. You know, I think I'm spending my third action. There's no way to fail. We just finished the first 4 o'clock. I think I find out through my follows and everything who a particular my brain is not working. Spirit Warden is. I think I'm gonna spend my third action to like notch the 4 o'clock to complete it, so that we can start working on the 8 o'clock next time. And I think Maya, you viced. Did you do anything else?
No, I think we were talking about what to do with our free action, and then we got into the same with Issa. So we still have that like free one, right, for the mandate. Mm-hmm. And then I have one more left as well.
Do you want to make sure to mark that 1 clock complete, the 3 out of 4 o'clock that you had?
Oh yeah, sure thing.
Just so that we're in lockstep.
Sweet. Yes, I've marked it on my end.
Okay. That's 4 out of 4. Cool. Cool.
Yeah, what do you want to do with our free action?
Actually, if I could do it the other way, if I could do the long-term project on the free action, I just noticed that I have level 1 harm. I wouldn't mind recovering so that I can at least get the recovery clock going.
Yeah, awesome. Totally.
All right.
Awesome. I have level 2 undercover shakes. Would it be worth
both of us should spend, if you haven't spent your second action, you definitely want to recover, because that's going to give you -1d whenever you're trying to act undercover. Well, actually, actually it's probably going to be applicable in this next job, and unfortunately you're not going to recover all the way. I'm still grazed and I'm shaken. Both are level 1 harm, but I think I can get that rolling.
Is it worth just starting that clock to like begin healing, or is there more?
Well, I mean, we talk to Judd and we say like, look, if we do this job and we're not undercover anymore, would undercover shakes still apply? Like, would it go away the same way that unconsciousness does?
Yes.
So maybe you just take the penalty when it applies and burn some stress. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. So I have one more free action, one more downtime action left.
Vice again. If you're high on stress, vice again. You need to be as clear on stress as you can be for this job. Then.
Sweet. Yeah, I will vice again.
All right, I'm gonna recover here. So we're theoretically a tier 1 gang, so I think that for recovery I would roll 1 die.
Yeah.
I don't think that I have a friend to help me with this, so I think
I mean, Rona will help.
Oh, okay. She'll tend to my grays, as it were?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Alright, here we go. Cool. I'm gonna put 2 ticks on my recovery clock and just keep rolling for now.
Cool.
And check my special armor. I'm G to G.
I wonder if I vice at the same time I approach Suresh about this plan, like...
Oh, yeah. The vice is like you and Suresh out on the Deathlands talking about it. And, and Suresh loves it.
Excellent. I will indulge vice. Oh, you kidding me? I got double ones. Oh, do I get a dice because I'm with Suresh, or does that not go?
Suresh is not a friend. You gotta actually have them on your friends list. That's why I had to work the clock to put you on my friends list.
Okay, cool. I clear 1 stress.
That's rough.
Yeah, I have 3 I can burn, so I can help you out one time and push myself, and then probably drop it.
Okay. We are ready for that devil's bargain there, or not devil's bargain, engagement roll, Judd. And because I am prepared, I happen to know the engagement rolls are on page 128.
I've got it open already.
Oh, curses.
Because I got the super pretty book. And so
yeah.
bookmarks.
Ooh, that is fancy.
It is so pretty. Yeah. Cool. Is the operation particularly bold or daring?
Nah.
Clearly not. Kidnapping Lord Rowan? Nah.
We are kidnapping a city council member with a biker gang. Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is daring. Plus 1D. Does the plan seem to expose a vulnerability? And actually, because of all your undercover work, he trusts you in a way that he normally wouldn't.
So yes, was that? We're literally playing on stuff we had knives to our throats about last time.
Yep. Plus 1D. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? Yep. Plus 1D. Are there any other elements you might want to consider? So I think he does take a couple of Rowan House guards with him. And that brings it to minus 1D.
Makes sense.
Because they are all ex-Imperial soldiers. They're all Unity War vets.
All right, so that's 2 dice. Do you want to roll or do you want me to roll?
Is that to me or you or Jen?
Not to me.
I was talking to Lauren, but
okay, I just slash roll 2d6 of the thingy.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I got a 6. Yay! I'm glad those ones made that.
Wow, you got a 6.
Yep. Control position.
Cool. Holy cow! You're riding around, and then this thunder comes through the town, comes through this part of town, and they start riding by, and then when they kind of stop, or when most of them go by and then some of them stop, Rowan has Suresh on the back of his horse, and she has her hand under his armpit with a gun to his head, and she kisses him on the cheek and says, "Welcome to the Deathlands, Lord Rowan." And the guards, he looks at his guards, and his guards have lances crossing their necks and their hands up.
Nice.
Do we play our cards? Do we tell him what's up, or do we let him stew? Because, like, we can get the guards to cooperate, and, yeah, I think that's...
Oh, good question. You can tell him like he's more valuable alive than dead. So like we would not be so foolish as to.
Yeah, and I was actually thinking about asking Judd if we could finagle it to make sure that it's the guards in particular that happen to know about the eel place, because if we can get all three, we will have somebody else for, like, testifying. And I think
Yeah,
that
the
it's
guard-
as easy as pulling out the Imperial seal and showing it to them, being like, and show the seal and be like, yo, so, sorry about this, but, also, this is done under the Emperor's will. So sorry, but, you'll be expected to testify and you're screwed, big guy.
I think so. Yeah, definitely wave that around.
Imperial mandate. What is this? And Seresh says, "This is justice, bitch. Deathland's justice. We'll hold him for you."
All right. I guess we ride back to the house.
So Suresh is a Deathlands vet. So before you leave, Suresh says, "We're going to be in a small fort in the Lost District.
Okay.
If something goes sideways, that's where you'll find us."
I know the way.
Very good. And they thunder out, and like a group of forces like get around Lord Rowan so people can't see him. She puts a hood over his head, and they ride out.
Nice. I don't
All
feel
right.
bad about this at all.
Part 1.
Part
Done.
2, super dangerous, but we're going in. Let's go talk to Lizette and see if we can convince her to do the things that we need her to do.
Awesome.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So you make your way into Rowan House. Lizette thinks that her father is dead. Ruby says, Ruby, the little girl who has become like a staple of the Rowan House, says, Lizette is waiting for you at the atrium at the top of the tower. And Lizette is waiting there, and the sun is setting over Duskwall, and there are 3 new faces at the table. Lizette says, "Sit down, my friends." And she holds her class up and she says, "My father is dead. I am the Lady of Rowan Tower." And everyone says, "Long live the Lady of Rowan Tower."
Here,
And she
here.
says,
Yes.
"Allow me to explain who my friends are and what it is exactly you're doing here. You've become a part of something greater than just the ascension of myself to the Lady of Rowan Tower. My ambitions are quite above that. This is my friend Kendra Colburn. She's been my best friend since I was a little girl. The Colburn family is down on their luck, but if it wasn't for some bad luck, they would be considered one of the founders. This is Crow Helker. He is a demonologist on one of my father's Leviathan ships. And this is Lieutenant Brace Rowana. Kendra, Brace, and I were all good friends in school, and we came up with this plan years ago.
Brace, what was the last name?
Rowana, which means that she's some cousin of the Rowans. So you don't know this, but there is a drug going on. The ghoul is a drug, but it is more than that. My father and his cronies have figured out that it is also a important alchemical ingredient in the Undying Emperor taking his spirit out of his body and replacing it with sheer will. He's not a vampire, he's not a hull, he's something else entirely and something new. And no one knew how to do that until 10 years ago, when the Strangfords, the McClellans, the Bowmores, and the Rowans found out that ghoul was in the city, and we acquired it. The Rowans didn't want any part of this, so they backed out. And that is the root of our feud with them that has gone back a decade. The older generation wanted to make their own Undying Emperor in all of them, these ridiculous, greedy, petty old men, wanted to make themselves their own emperor and declare Duskval a city-state. However, that's not my plan. I'm not going to be the undying emperor. I'm going to be the undying empress. And in an immortal state, with power and majesty behind me, I am going to send a proposal to the undying emperor recommending that I become married to him and live forever at his side, ruling the imperial states as such. The Rowan House and Rowan Tower would become an imperial seat. And I would sit above the Lord Governor as the ruler of Duskval. I do not want to depose the Emperor. I want to equal the Emperor. And that, my friends, is the plan that me and Kandra and Brace came up with almost 10 years ago. And we brought Crow Helker into it so he could help with the alchemical aspects of this that are above our expertise. And Crow says, this is the craziest shit I've ever heard of in my life. But if it makes me the admiral of fucking Duskval, great. And he says, and you two will, of course, be in charge of the Imperial stables. And because she still thinks you two are Sevrosi horse trainers.
Oh, yeah.
So she thinks she's offering you like the sun and the moon, which is being in charge of the Imperial stables, which will grow to magnificent heights under my reign. And everyone's looking at you because you two do not probably look surprised unless you're like really like, you know, but what are they saying when they look over at you?
Super quick flashback. So Lauren, nah, F it. I'm about to spend 2 stress. Judd, I'm a do like a way flashback. This is a little wacky, so bear with me. We might have to put a lot of stress on this. I think that there's like a moment where we flash back to the point where Drav was talking to one of the attendants of the whatever they're called, the little like machine people that do the machine stuff for the holographic projector, right?
Yeah.
And Drav is basically like, so this transmits our images back and forth very clearly. And he's like, but are the lenses only because you need to see? What if you only had to hear? And you know, he starts like trying to talk to them. Because what I would like to flash back to is I would really like to have a recording device. It doesn't have to be transmitting, but I really need to have a recording device now. And I'm okay paying however much stress is necessary for it.
2. I mean, two's the maximum,
obviously.
Right?
No, actually it is not. Technically in the book it says 2+. It's just that everyone sees the 0 with a big explanation of what 0 means, and 1, whatever 1 means, and 2, what the 2 means. But it does say 2+. You can make it more.
All right, so I am going to make it more because it's unprecedented, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to say it's 4.
That's fine. I'm paying it. 2, 3, 4. We're good. Boop. Paid.
So that got transmitted to the Imperial Tower on White Crown.
I love it. Yes, if you're allowing that, I was expecting it just to be recorded. But if you want to, if I could get away with transmitting it, that's awesome. That's awesomer. I mean, we could have like flashbacks where I convince Ruby to mount a transmitter somewhere up here at the top of the tower or whatever.
Cool.
That's fine.
I'm cool with that. Yeah.
That's probably why it's 4, because it's like 2 to 3 steps. I don't think we can just. We saw it running along wires, right? Like so, like I don't know that we can just like. Maybe it can be wirelessly transmitted very, very briefly, but through the ghost field.
No, I think you're recording it.
Okay, that's fine.
You're recording it onto like a wax cylinder.
Yep, that sounds good. Nice. So Maya, how do we want to play this? Like, we weren't planning on arresting her right now, were we? Because I mean, this is totally opportunity. This is where we take off our disguises and slap the mandate down and just wreck them.
Yeah, I know we weren't intending to, but this might be a good if we have like the recording of it, it might be a good time to take her in.
Yeah, I'm okay with that because the other option is we got to convince them that we're on their side and we're totally in love with this idea, and then leave, deposit our stuff, and then walk back in with like an army of bluecoats. This is way more dangerous, right? Like, because our house guards are here, and like getting out is going to be tricky, but it's way more exciting television, and I'm down for it.
Oh, totally, yeah. And in fact, like further, I kind of feel like Maya does express like surprise, and then like asks Lisette like, "So, what new features will you bring to Duskfall as equal of the Emperor to try and like get her to talk more about what her like mastermind plan is, her goal of for being the Empress?"
Well, I will make sure that the families who provide the Leviathan's blood for all of the continent get more than their fair share, and the Leviathan ships are fair are and their crews are well compensated, and I will uh, use my personal imperial guard to exert my law across the city. This place has been lawless for far too long.
Funny you should mention that.
Is this weird? Is this at that point? Is this for the
Yeah, I think this is where we call the bluff, right? Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
let's just do it. I think this is the point where like I pull off my freaking charm so I don't look like a Severosi. I slap the goddamn Imperial Mandate down on the table and go, the Emperor might have a few words about that.
Yeah.
I mean,
This place is lawless, huh? Like, yeah.
there is a law, actually, and funny, I was always wondering what you thought exactly the Emperor would say about, like, even if you became the Undying Empress, building an army and an entire thing, it's very ambitious. Good job. Also, by the way, you're under arrest.
Yeah.
What? Are you fucking joking? You're at the top. What?
I pull out my cuffs.
So the Leviathan ship demonologist thinks this is the fucking funniest thing he's ever seen. He's laughing.
Good. As long as no one's reaching for a weapon, we're still good. I'm going to go after this woman.
Yeah, so I think her soldier buddy Brace pulls out a gun and says, "No, no, 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 no. No way. Not today.
Do you know my name?
Nope."
Cool. I hit him with the table. Let's go.
The table hit.
Yeah, it's a
Rob's
classic.
signature move.
I push. Talk to me about this, Judd.
I think there's a gun leveled at you. It's
Yeah.
desperate standard.
Hell
It's desperate
yes.
standard.
We're doing this. Woo! Desperate standard, huh? You got an assist for me, Maya? I know you're in a rough spot.
Yeah. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, I can throw an assist. I mean, I didn't see this last time, did I?
No, but when Drav tenses, like, we've been around each other enough that, Sorry, somebody in chat was watching it right before I said it. They went, "Do you know my name?" So, thank you, fans. You are the best.
Yes.
Let's do the thing. What does your assist look like?
I probably like as you go to move, I move but like in a different direction to like sort of draw his attention away to sort of like create but for that split second where he could react to the table push, it's like his attention gets diverted away to like maybe I pull out a gun.
He has one gun and he has two targets.
Yeah,
exactly.
Brace is a woman. Everybody
Awesome.
but Crow,
Oh, awesome.
who's an old demon seller. demonologist seller.
Oh, hey, I do the thing, but I get shot. This is gonna be
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
Watch me trauma.
Oh my god, you can't throw it.
Oh, it's about to happen.
Oh, no.
Awesome. So, Judd, I rolled a 4, which means I succeed. I'm going to take this. I'm going to take Brace out, but I'm probably gonna get shot. So let me know. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, you get shot. I think it is 3 harm. But you knock Brace. I mean, do you knock Brace right off the tower?
No, I think I think all of these people are getting arrested, and as per the Emperor's will, we're not killing. I think had the Emperor not said don't murder these people, I would have. But I
Okay,
think that's
so
actually
I think-
why I get shot, is because I do the table shove, the gun, and then the flip, the gun fires off into
Yeah.
it, and sort of like there's that moment where I have the chance to like shove them off the tower, but I hesitate, and that's actually why I get shot.
Cool. So you get shot, you fall on top of the table. It is a heavy wooden table. And I think when you fall on top of it, you feel like vibrate through the wood, her hip crunch in an audible way that you will take with you to your grave.
Yikes. I think I throw the manacles to Maya and I just say finish this.
Yeah, I think I swiftly catch them in a super cool way, and then yeah, just very swiftly pivot to like sort of secure Lizette.
Her friend Kendra has broken down crying. Lizette pulls out the knife that she put to Drav's neck a while ago and says, "Do you think I'm just going to let you do this?"
Of course, I don't think that. I see what you could do, and you are terrifying. And that is exactly why you cannot reign as the Empress.
You would be my personal investigator. You would be in charge of enforcing law in this city. Don't you understand what you're turning down?
I think Maya says, "You seem to misunderstand me, Lizette. I could not give less of a shit about the city. There's only one thing that I care about, and it is not this place."
Cool. I think it's risky standard to try to get the cuffs on her while she's holding a knife on you.
Excellent. I can push myself in the line of duty, so
Sounds good.
I will do that. I spam my special armor. Oh, yes, yeah. Oh no, I
Cool.
got it too.
Cool.
Well, at least it's only risky, so you're probably gonna get her stabbed here, but you can test it down.
Yeah, totally.
She grabs the manacle chain with one hand and stabs you in the chest with the other.
Nice. I feel like as she does some
Harm 2.
lavender-colored dust leaves my body.
Do you have level 2 harm already marked by any chance?
I do.
Then my recommendation is that you take the hit and just try and finish the job or something.
Okay.
I have 1 trick left in my arsenal, so we'll see.
Excellent. I took the level 2 harm, stabbed pretty bad.
Cool.
And shoulder.
Cool.
I think Maya tries to grit through this pain, right? Like she tries really hard not to like yell out.
Yeah.
And do you want to make your move, Drav, or should I grapple Lizette a bit more?
Do you want me to try and put her down here?
I can try. Yeah, like I can
No,
try.
I mean, I'm pretty good at this. I've got like 3 dice in assault. I'm about to get a push in. That's gonna be 4 base. If you can assist, I
Okay,
go
cool.
to 5. So
That makes a lot more sense. Then I can assist and
actually, speaking of which,
And
Judd.
I just want to say, while this is all happening,
Yeah.
Crow Helker, the demonologist sailor, runs.
Oh, god damn it. I can pursue him and drop him, or I can go after Lizette. Which one do you want me to take care of here?
Oh, I mean, if we want to get finicky about it, I'm better at pursuing than I am at securing or assaulting.
Okay. The good news about pursue is that I have a power that allows me to deny him the ability to give me the slip.
Oh, nice.
I can mark my special armor to cancel any consequence of somebody giving me the slip or lying to me, etc. But I can't use the special armor as actual armor. So I'm actually, I have 2 dice in pursue, and I'm pretty good at catching a person. But I also have a hell of a lot of assault. You just tell me which problem you want me to solve.
Oh god, it's okay. Fuck. It sounds like we're better off you pursuing him and using your.
If I pursue him, I'm probably going to trauma. I'm going to take my second trauma, but I will get him.
Oh, shoot.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But if I go after her, I will probably get my second trauma, but I will put her down. There's just this is going to be done.
Okay. That because I feel like I'm going to trauma either way as well. So, and I have 2 in pursue, and I have like none in assault and 1 in secure.
Awesome. So you take care of this guy. I think
Okay.
there is a special rule in the book which says that when you push yourself, you can ignore wound penalties of level 3 harm. So, like, I've taken a nasty friggin', like, shoulder wound. This is how you do that scene in the movie where somebody who's, like, terribly wounded gets that, like, one final gasp where they, like, leap for someone, you know, and try and do, like, an action. This is, like, the whole, you know, sitting in Alien with the bomb, you know, like, in the hallway, right? So, if I push myself, I can actually take an action without my penalty, which I'm planning to do hilariously using the same power because it allows me to push myself in the line of duty. So I'm going to push myself for my power, and then I'm going to go after Lizette. Now, if you can assist me, great. If you can't assist me, that's okay. I'm going to push myself, take my trauma, and just try and take her out.
If I could assist, then I'll throw the assist. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, I will take the assist. Judd, I'm rolling assault against Lizette, coming at her from an angle she's not expecting. I'm lying on the ground. My chest is making all sorts of gurgling noises. What's my position?
I think I turn. Oh, this is like I sort of turn her in a position while she has her blade in my chest.
It's risky. Great. She's not expecting you to get up, or much less.
You crit. Yeah. Nice.
No, you did not.
I did it. I totally did.
Tell me what that looks like.
I think she, like, stabs Maya, right? Like, and Maya reels and is holding her attention, which is how I'm interpreting your assist, if that's okay.
Yeah, totally.
I'm sorry it's a little passive, but, no, and I think I'm hoping, you can of course narrate the details, but I'm hoping that she gloats or, like, has some sort of, like, evil. You thought you were going to go against me, kind of line.
I am the city, yeah.
And I think there's I think there's just like a moment where she gets clubbed upside the head with a table leg and bleeding out of my chest wound. I look at her and I'm just like, that's for the Ravens. Yeah, fucking Rowan. And I just like drop the table leg on her and then I collapse and the dude's still running away. So
cool.
Crit extra effect. I don't know. Like maybe. Hey Judd, I'm gonna pitch you an extra effect if you're okay with this.
Let's do it.
The extra effect can just be that we're gonna be able to get these folks down to the base where we have people waiting for the arrest anyway, so that we're not gonna have as much of a fuss trying to get them out. Because I feel like neither I nor my friend are really in great shape to deal with like fighting house guards while dragging people out. Is that okay?
Right. Yeah, for extra effect, I'm willing to say that like the tower just falls. Like, yeah, like by falls over. I know that that's happened in previous games you've played.
Okay. That's why I was laughing.
I mean,
my brain went there too.
I mean. You club her, you shackle her, you show the Imperial, you show the thing, and the guards get talked down by the servants. And like they just open the gates to the Bluecoats. That's what I'm going to say is the extra effect for bringing her down, if that's cool.
Yeah.
But does Crow Helker get the hell out of there is the question.
Let's find out, yeah.
Okay.
I think, when Maya sees Drop, get up. She's gonna and catches Crow leaving. Yeah, she's gonna book it after him, like with that sort of sore shoulder, but like still
Yeah,
powering.
I'm swaying on my feet, but I'm just like, go.
Can this is a really silly question. I've totally forgotten how items work in terms of the benefit they provide. Like, if I spend an item from my like load list, does that give any benefit?
What did you want to do? What did you want to use?
I was thinking of using an unusual weapon, which is like my Deathlands like whip lasso thingy. Like it's like a long range kind of like used for taking down people in the Deathlands to sort of
cool.
get a good like hook on his like a wrap around his leg or something, so I can just him back.
He's almost at the stairway door, and you take out this whip. That's awesome. Risky standard.
Excellent. And I'm securing. Okay, question for this is some blades boost stuff. I have 1 stress left, so I will trauma if I push myself. Is it worth it?
How many dice do you have?
I have 1 dice.
Yes, I'm about to give you a second. You definitely want a third.
Okay.
So the second is I'm going to use my mastermind ability, my spider ability, foresight, which is that I expected that somebody was going to run. So, among other things, Maya and I, like, you can flash back to, like, what is our plan for this, and we actually, like, drew the maps, the escape routes, and, like, I'm just like, okay, but remember that you can use the servants' entrance. This guy is not gonna know that you can get down to the kitchens as fast as you can. It'll give you a chance to cut him off. So I'm gonna use my foresight to give you an extra die, and in my opinion, do you have any trauma already?
None. I am trauma-free.
This is where you get the Sherlock obsession with the opium, huh?
Yeah, totally.
I say do it. Come on, join the XP train. You know you want to.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll trauma out for an extra dice. So that's
it's +2. It's
standard +2.
Yeah,
sweet. I got a 5. It's not a 6, but it's a 5.
Cool. You do it, but you suffer harm. Yeah, I think like he fights dirty. He's like a Leviathan hunter, and like getting him hogtied is a to do, and like you take 2 harm. Fought with a desperate sailor.
Nice. Since I already have 2 level 2 harms, does that make it a level 3?
I mean, it goes up to 3?
Yeah.
I think so.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay.
Level 3, does that mean you pass out?
Yeah. Although, if you haven't hogtied, we can just narrate that, like, you can get into the guards, and then that's when you...
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
Sounds excellent.
So the postscript of this mission is you're at the top, you're at the atrium, and you both are sitting there looking like...
Yeah, we're bleeding. I've got a bullet wound in one shoulder. She's got knife stabs in the other.
I'm a bit like black eye from the fight with the demon.
Yeah, you've got a black eye and a bloody nose. Like I think your teeth are all red from like where like he kicked you in the mouth, and like you clicked down on your tongue, and the fucking eel comes like, and there are Bluecoats all over this place, and the eel comes up and starts fucking berating you guys, and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you two? This is who you were undercover on?
Actually, what I say is just doing my job, sir.
And somewhere in the distance, you can see that something in Duskwall is on fire, just as like a bit of color. And at that point, the Lord Governor walks in. And the eel turns to him and says, my lord, I am really sorry about this. They're out of control. You need to tell the Emperor that he says...
Click, and this is where it starts playing back the line about her becoming the Empress.
Right.
I'm a flashback to my little like wax cylinder, and it's like, and I will become the undying Empress. Not to rule over the emperor, of course, but to be his equal.
And yeah, and he says, what the fuck is that? And the Lord Governor says, that is good police work, imbecile. He goes, you can't use the investigative arm to go after the founding families. And he says, son, do you see that fire over there? And he says, yes. And he goes, that's because someone got too interested in imperial business when they shouldn't have. So the emperor sent one of his personal whispers to the city and killed that person and everyone they know, and then burned down their building. Would you rather answer to these two or to that person? Because I've got to tell you, son, those are the founding family's two fucking choices. Shackles or fucking necromancer assassins. And he says, he goes, go the fuck home. And the eel just gets dismissed, like walks away dejected. And he says, you two look like shit. Go write your report and then take a break.
I think my quietly says like, so like it takes one to know one kind of like if he's gonna call us, we look like shit.
He smirks. He smirks and says, I'll send my doctor to Dunslow. Make sure he makes it out alive, please.
Okay. Awesome. Do we want to wrap there? I know there's still an entire investigation remaining about the spirit wardens, but this feels like an episode end to me. How you
yeah.
All right. Do we want to do XPs?
Yes.
Are we? So actually, let me ask you a frank question. Are we planning on doing like the last segment of the investigation here next time? Is it like the last leg, as it were? Yeah. Okay.
We could, or you could.
I don't know. This feels like a climactic season finale. That's why I was double checking.
It does.
I don't know if we. And the other thing that we could do is we could just say like season 2 opener, and we could like deal with the spirit wardens and everything, and then we could have like a flash forward like 2 years later or something. We could yeah. All right.
Cool.
So let's do XP, because if we're continuing the show, then obviously I want my XPs. Damn it! I took a trauma. That's XP. So.
Awesome.
Woof.
Oh my gosh, I am hurting.
Do you want to go first?
Oh yes, of course. Okay, so I did my disparate action ticks. Mark XP or 2, if it occurred multiple times, if I honorably did my duty in service to the Imperium, or I did what's right.
Jesus.
Is it a twofer?
I think that's a twofer.
Excellent. And I expressed belief drives heritage background.
Twofer.
Neat. And I have. Does it count for struggling with the issues of visceral trauma on the session new trauma, or is it like the next one?
Gaining a trauma is struggling with the trauma.
Excellent. Then I will take an XP for struggling with my trauma. That is me.
Awesome possum.
Cool. I'll go next. I only had one desperate action, believe it or not, and I put it already in force. My you served your precinct by laying down the law, or you did what's right. I think this is actually the first time that I probably end up on that laying down the law line pretty strongly there. So I will argue for 2 XP there. That was some epic laying down the laws.
Oh, definitely.
Express belief drives heritage or background. I would like to cite discussions of my gang and with my gang about, what's the right means, what do I owe them, that kind of thing. That's a lot of my drives right there. And then struggle with issues from your vice or traumas. Well, I gained a trauma. And I would like to point out that my other trauma is obsession with this case that took me all the way to the end.
Nice.
So
counts.
So I'm gonna collect my XPs. Now, I am going to take a Playbook Advance, which again is going to be a Spider Power functional vice. That's 4, and I'm going to get 2 more, which are going to actually go into Conviction. Because I'm trying to get a second die in Conviction so that I can vice more effectively. And that's where I'm at.
Cool.
The game. The mandate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
enforce the law or advance progress on the mandate. I think we can take 2 on that.
Yep.
Bump, bump. Contend with challenges above your station. I think that's another 2, yeah?
Yep.
So now we've got an advance and we're up 1.
Yep.
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one.
I think we were ambitious. If we
Yes.
did not have ambitious already, we should have ambitious.
You did have ambitious.
All right, then.
Express the inner goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew. Yeah, big time.
All right, cool. And we can talk about what we're going to take as our advancement.
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah.
But I have ideas.
Ooh, what are your ideas?
The one that's most fancy is there is a mandate-specific thing, which is like the Emperor can grant us sanctions, which allows us to ignore an entire subset of rules by his command. So, like, for example, you know how, like, usually you're just like, murder is bad. We could just murder with impunity. Now, I don't want that one. What I do want is jurisdiction over the goddamn spirit wardens. So, like, that's an advance we could take, is just overrule them on matters. As, like, show it and force them to take off their masks if we need to.
That sounds pretty rad.
It's not a thing that anybody else is allowed to do, but we are allowed to break the law by imperial edict. We just have to choose how. It's not for anything. It's like a specific branch, like
Yeah, totally.
But that's something we can talk about. We can talk about the wording, what context, how far we can stretch it, all that stuff we can talk about in between. But that's an idea I have, and failing that, I have a list of 7 powers ordered in order of recommendation that we could potentially look at.
Nice.
Most of them have heat reduction, which is really something that we've been struggling with.
Oh yeah, big time.
Although, just as a reminder, if we start a new case, if we start a completely different case, the mandate goes away and we just get a new mandate. It's the mandate is weird because it resets, because it's only for like the current case, which I don't really have a problem with. But your XP, your character advancement, stays with you. And I have a very long list of things that I need to get. So, all right. So anyway, that's my idea for the mandate. It's something to talk about maybe between now and next session.
Cool.
Cool. So that's XPs. Do we have anything else, or shall we do outros?
Yeah, we can do outros.
All right. Well, let me adjust this so that we have our fancy heads up. And yeah, who wants to go first? Or actually, I'll go first so that I can do smooth outro. Hey folks, I've been Strash, he, him. I play Drav on the show. I also run Thursday nights a Band of Blades campaign here on this channel. And speaking of Band of Blades, if you're watching the show and you somehow magically don't follow me on any social media, the Band of Blades book is up for pre-orders on the Evil Hat site. So we're doing like a big media push next Tuesday, but for right now, which probably means nothing to you because you are probably watching this on YouTube. But for right now, if you want, you can go to the Evil Hat site and you can get yourself a fancy copy of this outrageously thick 464-page book that looks ginormous and awesome. So hopefully all of our hard work pays off and folks love it. And if they don't, that's okay. Not every game's for everyone. Don't at me. Lauren, take it away.
Yes. Hello, I am Lauren Shide. I am at the Story Kiwi on Twitter, and I just recently dropped a website, which is thestorykiwi.com, if you want to look at what I've done for editing.
I didn't know this.
And,
I'm going right now.
it just has like the game design stuff I've done and like my editing box. So if you're needed a TTRPG editor, you can feel free to hit me up there. And what else? Yeah, just like finishing up Girl Underground and all that jazz, which is an Alice in Wonderland PBTA style game. And next time, I am super looking forward to seeing the explosive end / beginning of season 2 and all that stuff. I don't know what to expect, but I'm sure it'll be super fantastic. And I also look forward to more of Judd's pictures. Other NPCs we get to meet along the way and stuff. That was super great.
For those of you that don't know, Judd actually cast everyone in this game with like he made the whole lists of NPCs and he has little photos next to him and everything, and some of his choices are absolutely amazing. I'll see what I can do about bringing them a little bit more on screen. I'll make little like tokens for him to drag around Roll20 or something. So
that is super rad, but yeah. So that's
really fun.
Yeah. How about you, Judd?
My name is Judd, he, him, and the Band of Blades show on Thursday is really fun. I don't really like watching streaming, but I watch that one because I just really find it a blast. And the pace at which Strash GMs is awesome and fast and furious. So if you, it's fun to watch. And I'm usually in the chat. So, and it's a really kind of loud, like it's not like ridiculous. There are 30,000 people watching chat, but it's like a raucous couple dozen, and it's fun. That's really, really fun. This chat is also awesome, but the Band of Blades chat is a lot of fun. A lot of the people who are in this chat are over in that one too, and I'm there posting things that I think rookies are saying as they go on their nutty missions, and it's really fun. And as a further review of Band of Blades, I've been running it for a couple weeks now, and it's super fun. I've been GMing it for a while with my wife and a couple of neighbors, and it's absolutely incredible. So really, really fun. And I talk about some of that stuff on my podcast called Daydreaming About Dragons, which is my podcast, usually about 20 minutes. Kind of short and punchy, and so check that out too. And that's about it.
all right, this is where I go smooth.